नमस्कार दोस्तों, I am Satya Prakash. We are again here to discuss about the geography first chapter, resource and development. Development of resources led to depletion of resources for satisfying the greed of few people. In general life, we can observe it. Have you seen your requirement? Just see your requirement. At a childhood, when you are having a requirement of bicycle, you got it. This requirement has not ended when you come to the next stage of life and asking for the bike. And once the requirement of bike is fulfilled, you are admiring about the four-wheeler vehicle. And once you are getting the four-wheeler vehicle, your aspirations goes up and you try to take some private flight. So this never ending greed has led to the depletion of the resources. Second important thing is accumulation of resources in few hands. This accumulation of resources in few hands, which in turn divided the society into two segments. More and more the things people want to store for themselves. And now you can see the society has been divided into two parts. One who have and one who have nots. Or you can say rich and poor. Rich people having more concentration of resources in their hand, but the poor people having very less, although they are in number in large. Next is indiscriminate exploitation of resources led to global ecological crisis. This is very important. Since beginning, we are utilizing our Mother Earth to use for our requirement, and Mother Earth has given us everything. But what we are doing for our Mother Earth? What we are giving to our Mother Earth? We are creating global ecological crisis. Global ecological crisis we can see in global warming. The earth is heating, the average temperature is increasing. Day by day, the summer are becoming more and more hot. The glaciers are melting. We can see everywhere the process of global warming. Second thing, we can see the ozone layer depletion. With the including of chlorofluorocarbon and carbon dioxide, which has increased the ozone layer depletion, which causes a lot of diseases. We are affecting from that. Environmental pollution, day by day the use of fossil fuels has been increased, and because of increasing the pollution integrants has been increased very fast. Now the last one is the land degradation. The land is degrading. How we are using the land today? How we are using the land today? We are using the land very badly. After excavating the minerals from the land, we are leaving the land like that, and that land is not able to use in any other form. Till now only we had raised the problem of environmental degradation, ozone layer depletion, increasing heat of temperature, knowing global warming and land degradation. Now the problem is there कि only raising it, the solution will not come. The solution is within us. We have to think on that. Now the next topic is sustainable development. Sustainable development. Sustainable economic development means development should take place without damaging the environment, and development in present should not compromise with the needs of the future generation. So there are two segments in sustainable development. The development which we had done till now, it cannot be stopped. It is not possible, not at all possible, that we stop present development. Once we think on that, the life will stop. And in history, we had not seen this type of event till now. So, the present development is not going to stop. But how to keep the pace of development? The important issue is this, because we had seen ozone layer depletion, we had seen global warming, we had seen environmental pollution, we had seen land degradation. So how this can be minimized? We have to think on that. So we cannot stop the present pace of development. We have to keep in mind that the present trend should not more damage the environment. Then how could the development will be there? We have to think about the present development not only, but we have to think about the future generation also. We are not going to compromise with the present development, and we have to think about the future generation, because the future generation also require to keep the pace of the development. In future, the future generation will not say to us that all the resources you had used, what you had left for us. The time is coming. The time is coming when you will go with your grandparents to the museum, and one black rock has been kept over in the museum, and your grandchildren will ask you that, grandfather, what is this black rock? Then you have to elaborate, you have to tell them that this black rock is a coal. Once it was used as a fuel in our home. So we must think over that and start sustainable development. Earth Summit 1992, place Brazil, capital Rio de Janeiro. Students, 1992 has become the milestone in the history of world, when the world leaders had sat together to talk on the problem which we are facing, which we are calling global ecological crisis. More than 100 heads of the state had sat to discuss on the topic. So this was the first international Earth Summit. Now let me tell you one thing of my view, apart from the NCERT book. These world leaders were from the different segments of the world part. some of them are from underdeveloped country, some of them are from developing country, and some of them are from the developed country. All countries having different notions regarding global ecological crisis. Once we start talking about the global warming, ozone layer depletion, environmental pollution, land degradation, so maximum of the time, who are these countries who are responsible for these crises? A short summary come out that the developed countries are responsible because they are the country who are most industrialized. They are the countries who had emitted maximum amount of the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and these all gases and pollutants which are responsible for this crisis. So, how to combat the problem? Although this was a great initiative by the world leaders that they had sit together and start talking about the problem, but who is the country going to take the responsibility of the problem? The problem arises, the thoughts come, and no country want to take the responsibility of the problem. But as a student, you must know that the pollutants, the pollution, they are not minding the political boundary. They can cross. They will not say this is boundary of India and Pakistan or India and China, and China is influencing more pollutants in the environment. So the pollutants will remain in the China. It will not cross to Mongolia or Japan or India or any part of the country. So how this was a great crisis and problem for the world leaders also, because no one was going to stop their industrial development. So on common things they try to discuss, and the Rio Convention endorsed the Global Forest Principle and adopted Agenda 21 for achieving sustainable development in the 21st century. Agenda 21. It is the declaration signed by world leaders in 1992. The agenda aims at achieving global sustainable development, which we had discussed. It is an agenda to combat environmental damage. The environment damage which is taking place, and they had agreed that we are recognizing the fact that environment is damaging. So we have to combat the environmental damage along with poverty. Poverty is a major issue because the developing and underdeveloped countries having a large number of people who are living below the poverty line. So how is it possible to stop or decrease the pace of development and also increase the number of the good people, the good health status, education, food security? Diseases through global cooperation. Many diseases can be tackled. We can help each other, and with the help of global cooperation, we can decrease the number of the diseased people. I can give you example of pulse polio, which has seen a major problem in the less developed or developing economies. Now we are very grateful that India has been declared as a polio free country. This is because of the global cooperation. And more recent, we can see the process through which we are going. The epidemic has came of the coronavirus, and because of this virus we can see that globally the people are affected from that, and it also require a global cooperation to stop the increase in the number of the death of the people. Mutual needs and shared responsibility. We can see our mutual understanding with our neighbors. We can share the responsibility of the things which are hampering to everyone. This is the way through which we can move towards the process of development without damaging the environment. Resource planning in India. It is a complex process. When I am saying complex, I am giving emphasis that this process is not an easy task, especially the country like India, a land of diversity, seventh largest country in the world with 32 lakh square kilometer area. So it is not an easy task to plan the resources which are found in our country. It involves, there are 3 points. Let me tell you one thing, it may become 3-mark question in your board examination. So it involves 3 points, and starting from identification and inventory of resources across the country. Identification, the most important. Once you are identifying the thing as a resource, suppose that we can take example of coal. We had identified the coal as a resource. Then what we have to do? We have to make inventory of the resource across the country. Inventory is a logbook, or you can say register, where we are keeping all the details regarding that thing. What are these details? First, we have to do survey at each and every corner of our country where may be possible the coal are found. So first step towards is surveying. We survey the areas and find out whether the coal is found over that or not. After completing the survey, we can start mapping the things, which part of the country having the reserve of the coal. In map we can locate it. After mapping process is over, we start to see the quantity of the coal which is found all over country, which is found in pockets, in which pockets what quantity of the coal is there. After that we can see the quality of the resource coal. What is the quality of the coal? And in first step, last thing is the measurement. We will see, we measure the things, how much the things are available in that area. The second step involving a planning structure endowed with appropriate technology. We had surveyed, we had done mapping, we had estimated the qualitative and quantitative. Now we have to use it. how we can use it? With the help of technology. Remember the definition of the resource, what I had said. Accessibility of the technology. Whether you having the technology to excavate the coal from that area, the technology will again require the skill or unskilled labor, which are the peoples who are involved. Whether you having the amount of the people present in our country or you have to call from other place. So both type of people are required, skilled and unskilled. And institutional setup. Institutional setup here refer to the government offices, institutions, societies which are going to involve in this process. So one important thing is institutional setup also for implementing the resource development plan. Doing all these things, because we are a large country, we have to definitely see that the different pockets where the coal are found, which must be used like that it will help in the national development. So the matching the plans with the overall national development is the last step towards resource planning in India. Conservation of resources. This is the next topic we are going to see. Resources are vital for any developmental activity. We had come through the history. Without resource, without technology, it is not possible that we can use the resource. And with the using of resource, it become a precondition for the development. But the problem is the irrational consumption and overutilization of resource. The problem is irrational consumption and overutilization of resources, which is led to socio-economic and environmental problem. Socio-economic, I said that the society is dividing into two parts, haves and haves not, or poor and rich. And the environmental problem, we had seen ozone layer depletion, we had seen the global warming, we had seen the environmental pollution, we had seen the land degradation. So where it is going to end? Where is the solution? Students, this is a 5-mark question. Many times it comes in board examination. And a very good solution had been given by our father of nation. Our nation has said, there is enough for everybody's need and not for anybody's greed. So the whole summary lies in his thought. Once he is saying that there is enough for everybody's need. The earth had given us everything which can satisfy our need, the regular need. But this need is not going to stop anywhere. So we have to think about the others. So we must not be greedy in using the resource. He had further elaborated his thought, and he was against mass production. He was against mass production and wanted to replace it with the production by the masses. Beautiful lines. He was against the mass production. He don't want many industries. Few peoples will generate many products in spite of many peoples will include and produced for the requirement, the common requirement, the minimum requirement of the people. So there would be no greediness. So the solution lies in the thought of our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. Thank you students for watching this video. I would be very happy when you will give me the feedback and new ideas to teach. Thank you once again.